chance to warm up?
A little bit today?
No?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this was the bow person. Is it the same? Yeah, it was.
I've heard of Roland. I have to find out. Yeah.
That's the one that she said.
3,000 is not, it's 17 and above by the time we get there. But when are you going to go?
This I
Definitely, I would go and see him if you can.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
does he have any available? might wanna
We didn't
call.
look into it yet, but we'll call. Yeah.
I've heard of him.
But you don't think this wasn't the man that
I
you-
don't think so, but I'll find out.
Yeah, she said it was about, that was a year ago, she said 3,500, she said.
Okay, 35 sounds better
Yeah.
than 17. Although you could buy 2 35s now and take me out for dinner.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, maybe before, so we don't make you behind at the end.
Yeah.
You know Andre from Sphinx? That's the man that does the bookings and whatnot. So he already found something for her for Buffalo Philharmonic.
Oh, a concert.
Yeah, concert. That's gonna be like next March.
Buffalo Philharmonic?
Yes.
Is that the Buffalo Symphony? The big
That's
one?
that's the, yeah. So, but he wants to know like what repertoire to offer for that. So we said that we would talk to you about it.
Yeah.
So he wants, actually, he called and he said he wanted the repertoire list, but he wants like to have like 2 or 3 pieces that he wants to offer those 2 or 3 pieces because he thinks the repertoire list is too
What
too
date
much.
next year?
This one's gonna be in March, so we have a year. So I wanted to ask you, like, should we do something she's played before, or should we do something new that might?
I think
that's
when you
enough
offer
time.
your repertoire, give him new and give him an old. Now, you haven't played the whole Sibelius with orchestra, so that's a possibility. If you had a druthers, if I said to you, your favorite piece that you would love to play, I think if you're going to choose something new, it should be something that would really excite you. Like if I say, oh, I'm going to give you the Brook Concerto. Well, I love the Brook Concerto, but it may not excite you right at this moment. So also think maybe not Brahms, maybe not Beethoven, and I'll tell you why. Not because I don't think you can do it, but if they may have other soloists coming in, and they might be playing those pieces. So sometimes they look for a little bit out of the way. Now, out of the way, just tell me if you want to study a new piece next, what would you like to study?
We were thinking Corngold.
Okay.
So I think when we were talking to him previously, he said for the juniors, usually will be that he will offer one movement, so it can just be one movement.
Well, the first movement of Corngold is the best.
I think it ends well.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, and he thinks most of the time it might be like children's youth concerts that they would present. So it would be like one movement work probably.
Or would they like a big short piece like the Carmen or Tzigane or something like that,
Yeah,
which would play a whole piece and then
Yeah.
have an ending.
Right. Yeah. So I think.
You've done Sarasate Carmen, haven't
Yeah.
you? But I would choose a different one. I would choose either Hubai or Waxman,
Oh, that's.
if you're thinking of it.
Which one's easier?
Hubai,
Maybe Dubai.
but I like Hubai better.
You do?
Yeah. Does that, it comes with orchestra too, I think. So I'm quite sure, yeah, because I think I've heard it. I like the Hubai, so does Ida, we both like that the most. And I heard Van Byerman play it first. And since then I've been choosing it. Also, the Carmen, I've had a completely different change of heart teaching it now. So I redid it with Christian, who didn't quite have the technique because he hasn't played for 3 years practically. And we've been going over it and trying to make it more like a fantasy. It's usually played very robust and showy. And I think there's a lot of music in it that people are not including the first opening, which is hard to play. So I'm happy to teach either. I'm really getting into teaching the Waxman, but the Hubai doesn't need as much teaching. Any other concerto beside Corngold? You haven't done Tchaikovsky yet, have you?
No.
But everybody does it, and it's kind of tiresome, so I don't mind the rest of it, but I'm happy to teach it. Trying to think, Walton is not as appealing as Korngold, First Movement. I think Korngold's a very wise choice. And maybe a Carmen, and maybe, you know, Mendelssohn is always a
That's what I,
favorite of people.
yeah.
That's a favorite of people. And Sibelius, so you can offer them 3. You've done already Mendelssohn, you would be coming back. Sibelius, you know very well. You should finish it up too. Have you done all the movements?
No.
Okay, we should do that first. And we can get started now on all the new things that we're thinking about. So you can do a page of Cornwall a day if you don't have time to do the whole thing and get started on it.
There's a couple of concertos she's not kind of bypassed, which we need to
Yeah.
finish up at some point too, which is mainly the Lalo and the Vinyavsky, but she doesn't want to do that for the, we were talking to her about that, but what do you think of doing something like that?
Well, I
Personally?
have to be a big fan of Lalo, but you know, I think it's a great piece. Nice to know the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just time consuming. It's like 5 movements. I like the Vinyavsky. I love Vinyavsky, but a lot of young people do it. I just heard Lorraine do it. She did it so nicely.
Yeah,
So it's not, doesn't let you stand out.
that's
like
what I was
a
thinking.
young adult.
Yeah.
So I think that we should do, I can actually go over it with you, give you fingerings, giving you bowings, and you can do it like Rachel used to do, review things at part of the day. So you can learn new things, you can learn the serious thing for the week. Let's say right now, Sibelius. And then, especially during the summer, if you have more time, you can, if I give you fingerings and bowings, I think you can pretty much, you've heard it so much in class, pretty much figure out what I'm asking for. And I can go over beginnings, because once you get the beginning, you get the whole idea. And I said right now, I think what we should concentrate mostly on is intonation and perfection.
Oh,
Because so many people play it so many different ways. Who's going to know? I think judges are going to look at your body, look at your posture, look at your bow hold, listen to your sound. And I think, I listen to so many people, there's not one person that I love their opening. We can talk about things like that too and figure out what you like. But right now I think put it in your hands and I'll just be here listening to you and saying, I think this is out of tune, I think that's out of tune.
Yeah.
Okay? And posture is very important because people notice it, you know, like if you bring the violin or if you go down, so. You know where I thought your posture was great? In the Mozart. Were you thinking about it or do you just play that way when you have a fancy dress on? Were you thinking of it?
No, not really.
She was very good, wasn't she?
I thought so. They did,
She didn't do a lot, you know, there's nothing wrong with a knee bend once in a while, but you didn't do a lot of big knee bends. You didn't bring your violin in. It was really good.
The long dress helps.
It was very
You don't see the.
You don't see the knee bend. No, I thought you were up. You know, I always think of Mr. Lipset. One of the things that I admire in the students playing is posture. He makes the kids stand up with their
Yeah.
violins up. He really accentuates that. And so it's a good thing. And when I listen to the kids and ask it, I'm not in love with his interpretive ideas so much, but they always sound good. You know, and I think a lot of it is they look good and they play strong, they play in tune. Take the best from everybody. Yeah, there you better say your bow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You didn't hold it out enough, and most likely with the orchestra, you will hold it out, but you might as well get used to saving your bow, because you don't want to get embarrassed like. And then the very opening, maybe even higher, just start it out like this. It can't hurt. I mean, it's just such a good impression. Even higher the scroll. I'll let it go down after a while. Sounds even better. No, 1, 2, 3. How many beats are there?
5,
Go on, up. 6, go on, up.
7.
Yes! 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now stay where you are. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And the reason for that is also at the very end, when you're going here, you don't want to. So stay here. 2, 3. I think you're up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can let your arm go. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then here, he's slightly sharp. Okay. And the other thing that I noticed you sometimes do is so start with the fingertip. Start right away. And now make this more legato. Let the bow just go. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't run out. Save your bow. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Slightly sharp, first finger in third position. Well, what do you know? First finger in third position. Oh, check it with open string. When you practice. This note. I want to show you something. Come here. I want to show you. If you go right over here. Okay. Let me get that in tune. It's sharp. I have to move back. That's where the problem lies. Now 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't make a diminuendo. Play out the 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you use your arm. Watch my arm. I listen to some of the masters. They don't do the little finger. I call it the finger twitch. Now change your bow, remember? You didn't do that last week at the workshop.
first time I played.
Yeah, it gives you a little more oomph.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do? I want to record your playing so that when I say, you're recording, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll listen to it on the